Hi, everyone. Today I want to talk about the Clientology growth system. And the reason I created it was to give people a really simple metric so they could measure their results, start getting progress really quickly. So the 5-step process is ready, aim, fire. Now, you might be paying attention saying, wait a minute, that's only 3 steps. So the ready step is by far the most important. And in the ready step, we get you crystal clear on who do you serve and what problems do you solve for them. Now, that is by far the most important thing. If you're not willing to do that work, I really can't help you because a lot of people think, oh, I'll just target everyone. I serve everyone. I promise you, if you think you serve everyone, you actually end up serving no one. Your message is so broad, it doesn't appeal to anyone. So I like to joke and say, rather than targeting dentists, you want to target left-handed dentists who live in Atlanta. That's how specific you want to be. Once you figure out the messaging for the left-handed dentists, and by the way, left-handed dentists have unique issues learning the tools over right-handed dentists. And believe it or not, there are actually associations and groups and organizations, events dedicated to left-handed dentists. Once you dominate that group in your geography, the easiest thing is to then move to another geography and dominate the group there rather than, oh, I'm going to try now, I'm going to serve chiropractors. Oh, wait a minute. What if I serve optometrists? Be the expert in a niche. You will make far more money. I'm sorry for my American friends, a niche. You'll make far more money. You'll have far less stress and you'll enjoy your clients more. So when I worked at Intuit, we used this phrase, fall in love with the problem, not the solution. I'm not sure where that originated, but that's what you want to do is fall in love with your audience and find ways to solve more of their problems. And by the way, some of the time that means having a network or connections, people you can bring to the table that solve it as well. So it's not all about you solving the problems, it's about your network and how your network can serve them. The final piece of the ready stage is the key strategic partner plan, which I've talked about in a previous issue of Clientology Insights. And if you're not willing to reach out to key strategic partners, again, that's a deal breaker because if we can't leverage key strategic partners, everything else we do going forward is going to be more work. It's going to be stressful. So we want our people, before we even get started doing anything else in the Clientology growth system, the 8-week intensive program, we need to be clear on the target audience, who we serve, what we solve for them, and who our key strategic partners are. That's the ready stage. The next 3 stages are AIM, and AIM stands for authority books, influential interviews, meaningful masterminds. So the A is authority books, the I is influential interviews, and the M is meaningful masterminds. The most important piece of that is the authority book. And the reason I say that is without the book, everything else is extra work. So I don't want to create extra work for my people. I don't want to overwork the Clientology tribe. I think you're already seeing a lot of excess out there, lots of things you can do. The goal of Clientology is how do we get you the best clients with the least amount of cost, least amount of effort. So the fundamental thing in AIM is you need to have your authority book done and done quickly. Money loves speed. Momentum is everything. It's what's going to get you going in the morning. It's what's going to give you energy. And the very first thing is we have to get your book done. So we actually spend 2 weeks. We have a little template where you record your book, you speak it, and then you turn it into a book. And the goal of the book, it's not about being a New York Times bestselling author. It's not about getting it to, awards and things like that. The goal is getting it done, getting it out there, getting feedback. Because too many times we see great entrepreneurs living in their heads, over analyzing, over perfecting. We want to get it out there. We want to give it to our strategic partners and ask them for feedback. So basically think about the book the first and most important part of the book is it's a tool to build relationships with your strategic partners and ask them, if you know them well enough, ask them to read it, ask them to give you feedback. And above all, your goal is to get them to share their insights with you. And ultimately, if they read it and say, okay, this is not for me, but I have a client who needs it, or I have a partner who needs it, or a friend or colleague, that's the goal of the authority book, is to get you referrals. So I like to say, everybody wants to be a best-selling author, and there are tons of people out there who will help you become a best-selling author. I don't want that for you. That's not my goal. I don't know if it's yours. If it is, then Clientology is not for you. My goal is that you become a best earning author. And what I mean by that is your books should generate leads, it should turn into clients. And so this is the ultimate in referral tools. Your key strategic partners can read your book, like it, they share it, they pass it along. Um, my goal for every little book that we send out into the world is that it brings back at least one client to us. Now, if it brings us multiple strategic partners, even better. The next step is the influential interviews. And again, this is about building relationships with your key strategic partners. It's about interviewing them and promoting them to your audience, and in return, having them promote you to their audience. And then the final step in AIM is meaningful masterminds. Again, it's a simple brainstorming session. You meet with your best key strategic partners once a month, and you focus on how do we add value to our audience. So can we build conferences? Can we do interview series? Can we do content? What does our audience need most right now? And then the fire stage is about taking the pieces of clientology, systemizing it. So how do you bring in a virtual assistant so that you can grow your business? How do you leverage technology to do the clientology pieces? And how do you make this consistent and systemized so that you have a steady stream of dream clients? So that's the Clientology growth system. And what I'm going to be doing, I know today might feel like a commercial, but I just want to explain why we have the 5 steps that we do. A lot of people say, well, can I just skip to the influential interviews? Can I skip to the mastermind? The reality is the authority book is everything. Now, think about this. The ready stage is about doing the prep work. We're building the launch pad. The authority book is the rocket. And then the interviews and the mastermind, those become the fuel and the direction. So we know we're launching the rocket, we're ready to go, but we need all of the pieces. So don't skip ahead. We have the Clientology growth system workbook and foundations book. Those are meant to give you, literally, that's my introductory. I used to do this as a 1-year coaching program. I've boiled it down, distilled it to the 80-20 so that it can be done in 8 weeks. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to be an aggressive 8 weeks, but the goal is within that 8 weeks, you're going to build the entire process so that you can launch your business. So thank you, and I look forward to your feedback.